This is an NCBI Labs Talking Technology podcast clip.
So joining me today on Talking Technology, I am joined by Hans from Be My Eyes. Hans, how are you?
I am absolutely wonderful. Thank you.
Fantastic. So it's been, I think it's fair to say, a busy time in Be My Eyes, Hans. You were only on the podcast not that long ago, but you've been a busy team over the last little while, and Be My AI has just launched. Do you want to tell us a little bit about how, the last, even 2 months have just been in Be My Eyes? It must have been a really busy time.
It has been extremely busy, and I think we have kind of accomplished more than we have ever accomplished in such a short time. So it has been, thanks to my team, we actually made it because it has been so much on their plate lately. So I'm super proud that they actually made it to this time. So that absolutely.
Fantastic. And so, Hans, for those who didn't maybe hear our previous podcast on the subject, do you want to briefly explain what Be My AI is?
Yes, Be My AI is a way where you can take a photo and the photo is automatically uploaded to OpenAI, and you will get a very detailed description back of the photo. And you can even ask further questions about details in the photo. And beside that, you can upload existing photos from your photo library and have them described, and also ask further questions about that. And that's the very short version of Be My AI.
For sure. Awesome. Yeah, it's really been, I must say, even personally, I found it like an incredible tool, even just to share, photos from the photo library. But a little known feature that I found useful is that you can share PDF documents into it, and it seems to manage them. If they're one-page documents, it seems to be able to manage them just fine, and it's able to provide descriptions of the PDF document, and you're able to ask follow-up questions. It's really quite an incredible tool you've built, and I guess the reaction when you started testing it has been, I think it's fair to say, quite incredible in terms of people really see the use case for this. Was that something you expected?
Well, we knew that we were onto something, but we have had for months this first batch of beta testers, and they have just been so creative in ways of using this that we would never have come up with. But you mentioned the PDF, but also the one of the things that I've been super excited about is its ability to describe graphs. So if you have a graph of something in a textbook, you can take a photo, and then Be My AI will describe what the graph is all about and how it is progressing and all that. And you can ask details for further details about the graph. And that is something we have never been able to do before in a meaningful way. And to be honest, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, for sure.
And people keep coming up with new ways to use this. So that's just amazing. Mm-hmm.
Now, there's been a massive amount of positive reaction, as I say, to the Be My AI tool, but there was a small little hiccup along the way around faces, and it's fair to say that I think there was a little bit, I think, of upset for a time in the visually impaired and blind community for a little while there, because for whatever reason, whether it was coming from, say, OpenAI or Be My Eyes, faces were being blurred. And this is something we talked about, actually, on the last time you were on the podcast. But faces were being blurred, and I think in some cases it was rejecting images of faces outright. Do you want to tell me a little bit about what actually happened there? But ultimately it's been resolved now. So how was that resolved in the end?
Well, first of all, I'm glad you're saying a little bit. It felt quite like a big thing, and it was.
For sure.
It was the whole feature was basically not functioning because I'm blind and I have no idea if there is a face in the photo when I'm taking it, and that's just not workable. But we managed to make a solution. It's not a complete solution and not a solution that I'm really proud of because the whole issue is that in the state of Illinois, there is a law that prohibit you to process pictures with faces to prevent you from making an app that can recognize people. We are not in any way recognizing people or identifying people, but we try to describe if they are sad or happy or whatever.
Yeah.
And that should be absolutely okay. But because of this old law, we had to kind of make a fence around the state of Illinois.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Which means the rest of the world can use this, but if you live in Illinois, you will still not be able to use Be My AI. Then you can say, well, there's not that many people in Illinois, but if you live in Illinois,
that's fairly frustrating for sure.
That's not a really good thing. So that's why I'm not super proud of this solution, but this is kind of the best we could do right now, and now we are, which is something that I have never thought I should be engaged in, but we are actually trying to prevent or persuade the politicians in Illinois to kind of look into to this, I'm sure, unexpected consequence. This law is 10 or 15 years old, so they have never thought about OpenAI or all of this. And just to be clear, I would not want anybody to be able to take a picture of me and identify me on the street or anything. So we are absolutely also, we don't want them to change the law to allow everything to be done with your face out in the public. But we don't think it's fair that the blind people cannot get the same information that everybody else can kind of get from looking at a photo. So,
That's interesting. Yeah, it's an interesting solution and a frustrating problem. You mentioned there, that it felt like a big thing. Was it? I guess was it disappointing for you to see the project that had been so successful, I guess, in many respects up to this point? It kind of took a bit of heat there for a while. And also, what was your experience like working through this challenge with OpenAI? Because I guess this is one of the bigger challenges that you faced, I guess, in the first phase of this project.
Yes. And maybe we were a little, but we felt that we were in a good place so we could add more people to the beta test. It is still a beta where you can expect kind of all kinds of changes and hiccups and so on. But we had at that time added, I think, 10,000 users. And basically to kind of scale up the test and see if it could kind of handle all the requests and all that, because we felt we were in a good place. And then, but I also totally understand OpenAI. They have been taking so much heat for all kind of things that they are doing and maybe not even doing, but they could potentially do with this technology and all that. So, of course, they are super, super careful about not breaking any laws. And that's exactly what they felt that, we have to kind of pull the handbrake a little here. Until our lawyers are totally on top of this. And that simply took a couple of weeks before they were comfortable doing what we're doing now. So
okay, fair enough. On a more positive note, then, I guess Be My AI is rolling out now, or is pretty much there. It's really a really solid feature, and I'd recommend to anyone who hasn't tried it, give it a try now. You mentioned that it's still in beta, pretty much, but what's the future looking like for this concept? Have you looked at things like, spinning it off into a separate standalone, even simpler app for those who, maybe younger users who might benefit for this? Are you looking at things like self-voicing? What's the future for something like Be My AI?
Well, first of all, we need to get the Android version up and running, which we are beta testing with a small group right now. And hopefully we can scale that up and have the beta version ready within a month or two. That is our main objective right now. And in this tech world that is moving so fast, I basically think we will, when we have that ready, we will see where is the world at this point in time, and then, but hopefully we can do something. I have been very intrigued about Microsoft talking about their personal assistants, and I think this tool will be very, very helpful in a personal assistance world, and we will be looking into how we can position Be My Eyes in that process. But it's not something we're working on right now. But it's just a super interesting area.
For sure.
And also we are running a test with Microsoft on specialized help. So when you call them, you can also use Be My AI in that process, simply to help the agents get more information. So if you are on a website and you have some questions about that, you can snap a photo, and then the agent will also be able to kind of see that photo and get the same feedback, and maybe you can get the answer of what you are asking even without talking to one of the Microsoft agents. And we believe there is a huge future for customer support doing this, and also for blind people. There will still be, and there will always be, agents to talk to if you don't like to use this other technology. But for a lot of people, this is kind of a fun thing, and maybe even a more productive thing to do. So
for sure. Have you seen much of an uptick in users using sighted agents since the Be My AI feature has rolled out?
Well, we believe we need to have this running for a few weeks or more to kind of get numbers that we can kind of rely. I mean, we all know when something is new and exciting, then I can do this, and then. But what we really want to know is, let's say, in a month's time, when it is more a daily thing and it's not so new and shiny anymore. Yeah. Then we will look at the numbers and see if my expectation is that more people will be using Be My Eye, simply because we have this new feature, and then they will realize that, it's really great for this, but I also need the volunteers once in a while. So we don't expect the volunteers to get less calls, maybe even the opposite, because more people will be using Be My Eyes in general, and then they will also be using the volunteers once in a while. And one of the things that I'm really, really excited about is that we can see that some of the people who are using Be My AI the most are some of the people that were using the volunteers the least. So we have clearly found something that makes a lot of people comfortable, because they were maybe not so comfortable using the volunteers, but they are super comfortable using Be My AI.
Yeah.
And I think this will kind of have an effect both ways on the uses of volunteers, because you simply are using the app Be My Eyes more, and you get more accustomed to the whole environment that we are providing. So.
Awesome. Fantastic. Yeah, I can certainly speak to that myself. I was, in all honesty, I didn't use the volunteer service all that much, but I've been certainly a heavy user of Be My AI. So that's certainly clear, which is awesome. I guess the final question then for now, Hans, and I'm sure we'll have more conversations about this as the technology develops. But what and how can people learn more about Be My AI? Where are you directing people to now?
We are our website, BeMyEyes.com. You can find all kinds of information and blog posts and so on. And of course, we are also on X and Facebook. But I think our website would be the main source for information. And then, of course, you're always welcome to send an email to info@BeMyEyes, and we will try to reply back. So,
Fantastic. Hans, thank you so much for joining us on Talking Technology once again. I think it's fair to say congratulations to you and the team. You really have built quite an incredible tool. And it's really exciting to see where it's going to go. So, congratulations and very best of luck for the future.
Thank you so much, and likewise.
Thanks for listening to this NCBI Labs Talking Technology podcast clip. For more just like this one, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. There you can also find full podcast episodes. They're also available on your podcast app of choice or on the NCBI Smart Hub.